Well, I think if you look at the kind of job that breeders do, it is really integrating a lot of different disciplines into a product development pipelines. I think genomics has to be considered in a very similar context. It is one very, very important new tools, but it's one tool out of a suite of many, many tools. So in a way, I think breeders will need to continue to play this role of integrating different disciplines into a research program that leads to product development. And in this sense, I think breeders still will have to lead the way. But of course, they have to become very conversant in all these new fancy technologies and terms and jargon. And this is not straightforward, perhaps. Yeah. But I think this is the way it's going to happen. Perhaps none of the two, but something in between. I think, well, there are many institutions, organizations, industries around the globe that are really focusing on this new area of genomics and developing all these new technologies. Sometimes what I believe is lacking is to configure these new technologies, which typically are being developed in a sort of research context, to the specific applications required in an environment of demand-driven agricultural research. And I think this is probably a sweet spot where CG centers need to contribute. On the other hand, there may be selected areas where CG centers perhaps should tap a little bit into more what is perhaps considered strategic research. For example, the CG centers are hosting very important international gene bank collections. So this is really part of their core business, and applying these new technologies to these gene bank collections, like what is going to happen in the DivSeek initiative. I think this could be an area where the CG centers should be getting very actively involved. I think I would put about 20 to 25% into genomics and the rest into breeding, simply because genomics technologies are getting cheaper all the day. I mean, that's a reality. It's like with computer chips, costs dropping all the time, which is a good thing, which leaves a lot of funds for other areas, and phenotyping, field-based, high throughput field-based phenotyping technologies, for example, are an area that is developing rapidly as well, but costs in this area are not dropping as rapidly as in the genomics area. So I would, 20–25% into genomics, the rest into other areas related to breeding. I think it depends on how you define large scale, but the rate limiting or the time limiting step still continues to be generation time and doing the crossing and advancing generations. And genomics until now, if we think about genomics in terms of high-throughput molecular marker technologies, they're not accelerating the biology of the plant in terms of reproducing more rapidly. There may be technologies in the pipeline that will address some of these issues, but for the time being, I would say the rate-limiting step continues to be the plant reproduction during breeding programs, and therefore I think the time horizon we're looking at is not immediate. It's a strategic investment with a long-term horizon. I think large-scale, if you define large-scale as the majority of all varieties being developed having received some sort of input from genomics, it's probably beyond 10 years. But I think within the time span of 5 to 10 years, there will be a significant number of very concrete examples emerging.